Hi everybody, I'm here in my kitchen to talk about how to do a little project we're going to be working on called the Advanced Squiggle. I'm in the kitchen because I need a cup or a jar. Now this jar here is about the right size, but it's full of diced jalapeno peppers and I hate to waste food, so I'm going to eat these.
They're spicy. They're not that bad. Growing on me.
Now that you have a jar or a cup, you need to look for different drawing tools. It's a little tricky, they can be pretty much anywhere. Put your drawing materials into the jar. Technically, you might not need the jar. I mean, you just put them on the table. And technically, if you're a hard-living 40-year-old man, you might regret eating a jar full of jalapenos. Now, you might be familiar with doing squiggles in art class. This is not the type of squiggle we're doing. These squiggles were done by paste-eating kindergartners, and it's time to kick it up a notch. All of these images were created using my super secret advanced squiggle techniques and by harnessing the true power of line, which I'm about to share with you. Harness the power. Okay, first step is going to be to take a pencil and just squiggle all over the paper. We just want tons of squiggle, lots and lots of squiggle. Now I'd suggest you find someone else to do this step for you, because who wants to do this? But if you've, alienated all of your friends and family by kind of being a distant jerk, you can do it yourself. Now, I obviously haven't done that, right? I'm still well liked and popular, and people love doing things for me, They enjoy it. They're happy to do it because of my high charisma. But if you're not in that situation, just pop on some YouTubes, put on a movie or something, and scribble away, just like this. Now, you don't want to get too dark with it. You want to start with a pencil. You want to do it kind of lightly. You want to kind of vary how you do it. You're just making marks. Maybe in some areas you get it nice and tight. Some areas you're making bigger sort of squiggles. Just giving yourself plenty to work with here. Pop on a video, watch a little YouTube. I don't know, whatever you like to do. When you get done squiggling, squiggle some more. The reason your previous squiggles were bad is because they didn't have enough squiggle. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Rotate it and squiggle. Flip it over and squiggle on the back. You never have enough squiggle. Every time you make an art, you gotta say to yourself, this is gonna be the best art I ever made. And sometimes your teacher is gonna put dumb restrictions on you, like making a real long squiggle to start it off. Imagine if Michael Jordan had had a coach who had said, okay, Michael, you have to score the most points ever in this game, but I'm gonna tie one of your arms behind your back. He would have been so much better. I want to start emphasizing things and shapes that I find interesting, kind of bringing them out. I don't have to necessarily know what I'm doing at this point. I want to start thinking about, like, what is happening here that I'm liking? What am I seeing in here? How can I start fitting these shapes together? Okay, so I think I'm going to do kind of a mean looking fish. I'll make this stuff here into teeth. Maybe I'll add another one out here. Yeah, this stuff here into teeth, right? Teeth down here. Eyes up here. I want to start darkening in things as I see them. Another eye up here. This fin. Kind of added this, made it a little fin-like. Another fin here. Just the underside. There's a little tail. A little torn up tail. Being a bad fish. Alright. So I can, there's his tail. So I can kind of darken in things at this point, start to emphasize some of the things I want to keep. And if I need to, I can also erase out some of the things I want to get rid of. But I don't necessarily want to erase too much because having some of those extra marks makes things kind of interesting sometimes. So I think this is a good start. All right, so next I'm going to add some colorgraphic lines. I'm going to use a marker to do that. So I've got a chisel-tipped marker here. It's a regular kind of chisel-tip Sharpie. This is great because I can use the point to make thin lines, and I can use the broad chisel tip to make the lines thicker. So I'm going to use this to kind of ink in my contours and kind of try to make them colorgraphic as I do that. All right. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of thicken some of these up to make them more holographic lines. I've kind of sketched in everything I want, kind of gotten in position. I'm going to really apply that broad tip a bit to darken some parts of the lines. Or not darken, thicken them up. It's probably not even a reference anymore. Alright, so next I'm going to add some cross contours using colored pencils. So this is a good opportunity to add some color, but also while you're doing it, you kind of get in there and get some cross contours going. So kind of think about curving the lines to the surfaces you're drawing. I can't decide if I'm going to use like realistic color for this or just play around. We'll see. But I thought this pink was a fun color to start with. Just kind of drawing lines that curve all the way around. I don't think it's totally necessary to like color in the whole thing. Just kind of get these lines curving around, showing the curves of the surface here. So we'll get this lip, this pink, and then maybe I'll switch to other colors for the rest. Okay, so now I'm going to use a pen to do hatching and cross hatching. The hatching, these parallel lines like this, I use them to shade, and the tighter I get them together, the darker it's going to be. If I make them loose, it's lighter. And then cross hatching, same idea. But then I also go perpendicular. It's usually not like right angle perpendicular. It's a little bit more of an angle for cross hatching. And again, if I go tighter, make darker shadows. If I have them further apart, it'll be more of a light shading. You can get them really tight and go super dark. Alright, so most of this is pretty well done. I'm going to add a couple more things to fill in the background a little bit. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit because I've got a white paint marker. So I'm going to use this. If you've got something cool, you can sneak it in, cheat a little bit. It wasn't on the list, but it didn't say not to use it either, so here we go. Might not be my best piece of art ever, and I know I gave a speech about that earlier, but I'm tired. I got to give you guys some room, right? So I think if you do something like this, I'll probably give you an A. But I think you can still upstage me. You can beat me on this. So have at it. Go for it, guys.